Hello and welcome to the Preparing for Online Facilitation course tour. This course tour will help to guide you as you learn more about the structure and organization and navigation of our online course environment. When you log into Blackboard, you will see this course listed, the Preparing for Online Facilitation July through August 2012 course title. You'll select the link and you'll be brought right to the front page, which is the announcements page. You want to check the announcements first each time you log in. It's recommended that you log in at least 1 to 3 times per week and go over the steps you should take each time you log in, beginning with accessing the announcements. I'll often post announcements. I try to post at least once a week, and I'll post announcements if anything comes up. If someone sends me an email with a technical difficulty that I can offer a remedy for, I'll usually post it in an announcement. Oftentimes, I will email the announcements as well, but just in case I don't, you want to check the announcements page. And you can also scroll down and you'll be able to see all the announcements because I will leave every announcement I post available throughout the time that the training runs. So you'll come in, you'll read the announcement, you'll read all of these instructions. You'll select links if you need to. If it says click this link, you can hover over it and simply hold down on your mouse button and it'll bring you there. This is a link to a Blackboard tutorial site. This is the welcome video embedded right into the announcements page. The next thing you'll do is you'll access the Start Here button. Within the Start Here button, you'll find 3 subfolders. The first one is a Meet Your Instructor folder. And this is a good time to point out that anytime you want to access a folder, simply know that the title of the folder is an active link. You will click on the title and you'll be brought to the contents within that folder. Here's an introduction about myself, and if you select this contact information button, you'll be brought to just that. Up here we have the breadcrumb trail. So rather than using the back button on your browser, you can use the breadcrumb trail to get back to where you want to. And I want to get back to the Start Here button. Speaking of browsers, you want to make sure that you're using Internet Explorer, Chrome, or Firefox when you run Blackboard. It's also recommended that you download 2 browsers onto your computer so that way then if something is not working in one, hopefully it'll work in the other. So when you're going through some technical difficulties, you're trying to do something and it's not working, there's a little checklist you want to go through before you actually call on for help. The first thing is trying to switch browsers. The second thing would be to make sure that your pop-ups are enabled, that your Java's up to date, that your Adobe's up to date. If you get prompted with a pop-up message that says, do you wish to only display the secure items? You want to select no. And if it says, do you wish to display the non-secure items? You want to select yes. It's very important that you read those pop-up messages because it's worded both ways. But in some, you want to accept all images, everything, all items. So that means non-secure items as well. Blackboard is a secure website. You know this from the S and the HTTP address. I'm using Google Chrome right now, and what Google Chrome does is when I allow to display non-secure items, it'll just put a little slash indicating that the site might not be secure. But you can probably rest assured that Blackboard is definitely always going to be secure, and you have to display the non-secure items in order to access most of the content. So anyways, back to the Start Here button. When we first went to that button, we saw there were 3 folders: Meet Your Instructor, which is right here, the syllabus and course policies. Once again, you'll select the link, the title, which will link you to the contents. If you want to open a file, you'll know that there's a file attached because it'll say attached files. You will simply click the file. And again, I'm in Google Chrome, so this may be a little bit different. I believe in Internet Explorer, you'll be prompted to open the file or not. Back in Blackboard, we also have a file linked for the policy document. Again, let's use our breadcrumb trail to get back to the Start Here main folder. And lastly, you'll see a links you'll need subfolder. Within this folder, you'll find links to a variety of resources our online learners need. And this is a folder that I can copy into your course shell for you. And then you can copy from semester to semester in other course shells. One important thing for you would be the Blackboard 9.1 Student Frequently Asked Questions, the Blackboard On Demand tutorials. If you're not familiar with Blackboard, it's important that you open and access these 2 documents. This one will also let you know the Blackboard 9.1 student frequently asked questions PDF will let you know the system requirements, hardware and software to successfully run Blackboard, as will this PDF right here. Lastly, there's a Student Success Handbook for online learners. Obviously, WIMBA Technical Support is last, but I wanted to mention this because this is a wiki that if you select the link, anytime you see something in Blackboard that's bolded and it's a title, it is a link. If you select the link, you'll be brought to a resource that I have created for our online learners. It's just really a little book, a little handbook, online handbook that will help them get through and determine if online learning is right for them. Back in Blackboard, we will be using WIMBA a lot. And this is for archived recordings that I have created. If you need technical support, you need to contact WIMBA Technical Support. I can help with some really general questions. For example, if you're having problems accessing WIMBA, you likely need to run the WIMBA wizard, which will be further explained when the first time you need to actually access a WIMBA archive. After the Start Here button, we have the Announcements button, which again is the course entry point, so you'll always be brought to the announcements first. Next, we have the Course Materials button, and in here you will see that our course is organized in a weekly folder structure. As I mentioned in our welcome presentation, this is just a suggested pace, but it is suggested that you go in chronological order even if you don't, even if you complete all the modules, let's say in weeks 2 and 3. Once again, this folder is active. You select the title of the folder, you get brought to the inside of the folder and the contents. In most of the rest of the weeks, you will select the weekly folder. You will see beneath the weekly folder the modules that are within that week's requirements. You'll select the link, the title, and then there will be subfolders for each one of the modules. So there are 19 subfolders altogether. Let's say we want to access module 1, eDesign. We're going to get started. Here we have some more subfolders. And yes, I do realize that things are nested, but if you use your breadcrumb trail, you will be able to get back much more easily than if you select the back button. So we access the first module folder. Now, first thing you want to do is read the training activity instructions. I click the folder's title and I see these are the instructions. I can also access a file of the instructions and print if I like to do that. In some instances, you will be asked to complete a journal entry in order to complete the training activity. You'll know it's a journal entry because there will be a little binded notebook with a J on the front. The journal entry prompt will always be within the description, and select the title of the journal to access the journal entry. You will select then create journal entry when you're ready to post your own entry and respond to that training activity. You can give your entry a title. It can either be your name, it can be the title of the module, whatever you'd like. You can then type in your entry here. You could attach a file if you'd like to. If you maybe typed up your journal entry in response in a Word document, you can attach it here. If you had an image you wanted to go along with your entry, you can attach it here. If there was a YouTube video that would further explain your entry, you can search for it here. There are a lot of things you can do. But when you are done and you are ready to post your entry, you must select Post Entry. If you select Save Entry as Draft, it will be saved in your Blackboard account. However, I will never have access to it. One last thing to note is in addition to the attach icon, the attach file icon here, you can also browse your computer for a file that you'd like to attach when creating a journal entry. All right, let's go back to the Module 1 example. So each time you access a module, oops, I'm sorry, let me go back to course materials here. And week 2. And again, we were in module 1, eDesign. First, we access our training activity instructions, and then we have our training materials folder. Within this folder, if there's anything in the training activities instructions for you to read, watch, or access, you will find it in the training materials folder. Each week, each module is organized the same way. So here I see there's an attached file I need in order to complete this training activity. There's a WIMBA classroom presentation I need to watch. I've included transcripts for the WIMBA archives that I had created. And here's a link to an article. So sometimes the materials that you'll access will be links to articles. You will know it's an article because there'll be a little globe indicating it's on the web. You'll select the title of the article and you'll be brought to the article or the internet resource for you to read. The very last thing I want to show you in course materials, again, using our breadcrumb trail here, is there will sometimes be some supplemental materials. And what I've done is so you don't have to guess if there's supplemental materials in there or wonder if they are something you want to access. So you don't have to go into this folder if you don't want to. I've put the titles and sometimes descriptions of what you will find within this folder. Next, we have our course tools button, and then the course tools, you'll see the tools that are available to you. One thing I like to point out is you can send an email on Blackboard. You can send an email to all users, all instructor users, and you can also select users. Find the user you'd like to send an email to, invert your selection using this little arrow here, type in your subject, type in your text, your email message, and hit submit. You cannot receive email in Blackboard, but you can send it. After course tools, we have the discussion board. And when you access the discussion board, you'll see that the first form you're supposed to access is allow me to introduce myself. You'll enter the forum by selecting on the title of the forum, and you'll begin to add your response by selecting create thread. This looks just like the journal entry tool. You will type in, let's say, your name. So I would type in Jennifer Marcolongo, my introductory information. Once again, I could attach an image, I could attach a file, I could look for a video on YouTube that I think really will help people to get to know me better. I can also browse my computer for attachments, and I would hit submit. Just like with the journal entry field, the journal entry options, if you save the draft, I won't actually ever see it, nor will any of our other participants. You must hit submit when you want people to be able to see your discussion board post. The discussion boards forums are all made available right off the bat, just so you know, so you can begin to populate those. Then we have our instructor contact button, and here's where you'll find some information about myself. My grades button, I do not have access to my grades because I have the role of an instructor in this course, but this is where you will see the feedback on files you submit to me. Each one of you will have your own individual grade book, and you'll see feedback that I've offered on your training activities. Lastly, we have the Blackboard help button. And from here, you can search for a variety of Blackboard questions and answers through the frequently asked questions list. This concludes our course tour. If you have any questions, please be sure to email me at jmarcolongo, that's JMARCOLONGO, at ccsnh.edu.